Beautiful. We're going to get ourselves ready. So finding our seat, the seat that we are choosing today to practice in, and just go ahead and shift a little bit side to side, maybe give a little rock from side to side, just to re-establish the connection to your chair. Good. Even coming really as far off balance as you can. And then we'll go back to find the center. So we'll find some stillness here now, right at our center. Let yourself just rest right at that center line that moves up and down the spine. And let us bring our attention or our awareness into our feet for a moment. Give your toes a little wiggle. Let the feet settle down onto whatever surface they're resting on. And let's take a nice big breath here. We can start with a sighing breath if that feels good for you. It always does for me, just to get into the space a little bit more deeply. So big inhale through the nose. Big sighing breath out. We'll do that a couple more times. Big breath in through the nose. Nice sighing breath out. One more time. Taking any breath you like here. Big breath in, and then let it go. And let your shoulders start to become a little bit more relaxed, dropping away from the ears. Feet are flat on the floor as much as possible. And then from here, we'll just start to turn inwards and connect to our breath. And so I invite you to close your eyes if you're ready, or simply soften your eyes towards the floor. And as I mentioned this morning, I am coming to you from our family cottage, which has been in my family since my mother was a little girl. And now my children are having their childhood here. And so that's 3 generations who have spent summers in this sacred space. And so I wanted to mention that word for us today, to think about that word sacred. And so when I say sacred, when we talk about sacred, I'm really referring to something that calls you to your higher self, something that feels near and dear to your heart, that you need to take care of, that you need to revere, respect. And so sometimes that is a place, a location for us. And other times it's a ritual or a habit. And so I wanted to invite you today to bring to mind something that is deeply sacred to you. And sometimes it's a space that we are no longer able to visit or be in a physical form. And I've been thinking a lot about sacredness this last week as we are preparing to say goodbye to this space, and we have to sell this space and let it go, and thinking about all the ways that we can bring that sense of sacredness with us, even outside of these places that are important to us. So I'm inviting you today to think about what feels sacred to you, what calls you to your higher self, what makes you feel deeply at peace and in alignment, and what sort of emotions come up for you when you conjure up this space, when you think of this sacredness in your life. And that might be a relationship. It might be just a spot in your home or your home itself. Think about and notice maybe where you experience the emotions in your body. Do you notice them in the heart? Perhaps in the belly area? Or somewhere else? And just focus on that sense of what is sacred and important. Hold it inside with your breath. And as you exhale, just breathe life into it a little bit more. Letting it grow inside you. Spreading through your limbs, crown, down the spine, and filling you all the way up with love and deep respect. We'll take a nice big breath in through the nose. Let out a full exhale. Beautiful. We can start to open the eyes up, blinking them open here. Taking a look around you, wherever you happen to be at this moment, and just perhaps notice what feels sacred to you here in this space. What feels deeply important to you in this moment? Beautiful. Starting to rock our feet forward and backwards along the soles of the feet now. Starting to bring a little bit of awareness and connection to our physical body. Rocking to the toes and back to the heels. And then let the feet settle down on the surface they're on. Pressing in gently to the floor. Seeing if we can grow the spine a little bit taller here. So as we press into the floor, our spine lengthens, our crown lifts, and we can drop the shoulders. Finding our mountain pose. Nice soft breaths here. Beautiful. And then continuing with our shoulder rolls, rolling up towards the ears, back, down, and away from the ears. And just keep those circles moving, big or small, fast or slow. Our yoga practice is a wonderful time that naturally sort of carves out that moment of respect for ourselves, for our body, physical, spiritual, mental bodies. So we can always count this moment, this time, as sacred time. Beautiful. Releasing, relaxing the shoulders. Let's bring them back the other way. So circles forward. Wonderful. Find your way back to mountain pose. Shoulders come up, back, and down. Beautiful. So today, because there's so much water around me, we're going to bring a little bit more flowing energy to our movements today. So with our hands resting on our knees, sliding one hand forward towards a little bit further over the knee, and the other hand moves back towards the hip. Kind of creates a little twisting motion for the spine. And then we'll slide the hands the opposite direction. So I'm using my right hand back to my hip, my left hand coming over the knee, coming into a little twist on the right side. And then just keep moving back and forth through those two sides, just sliding the hands towards the hip and then back down towards the knee. Good, nice and slow. Finding breath in there. Inhaling through the nose if we can and exhaling through the nose here. Beautiful. Making your way back to center now, rolling the shoulders here. Beautiful. Let's bring our right shoulder up into our circle. So just the right shoulder moving, bringing our elbow up and along with it now too. Maybe we extend and spread the fingers a little wider as we start to extend up and out of the shoulder a little further. Beautiful. Finding your way to half cactus arm on the right side. Let's reach out to our right side and maybe we reach behind us slightly. So once again, twisting the spine. Beautiful. Watch this move. We haven't done this one quite like this before. We bring the hand across the front of the body to the other side and create a big circle over our head until we find our way out to extended arm once again. Take the same arm, sweep it across the front of the body, big circle up and over our head, extending out to the side. Keep moving just like that. The movement once again can be big or small. If your shoulder feels like there's a bit of a stuck point, just find an area, find a way that you can move the shoulder in that circular movement in a way that doesn't feel so stuck. So if you need to adjust the shape of your elbow, maybe turning your palm down and bringing the palm across the front of your face might help. Just a few more big circles of the shoulder, warming things up. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, extending far out to the side. Beautiful. Let's sweep the hand across the front body and come to rest on the opposite knee, finding your way into a twist. Our toes and our knees can be pointing forward, and we can walk our hands up a little higher, up the left leg if we like, or we can rest down closer to the knee. Sit up nice and tall and turning head to the left. Just gaze over the left shoulder. Soft breaths in and out through the nose. Good. One more. And then as you exhale, tiptoeing the fingertips back through center. Wonderful. That was a big warm up for the shoulder and the spine. So we'll neutralize the spine with cat and cow. Hands on our knees. Draw the shoulders back. Lift through the heart and chest. Lift through the chin for cow pose. And then roll the shoulders forward as we tuck the chin in, rounding through the spine for cat. Good. A couple more with the breath. Inhale, chest pushes forward. Exhale, chest pushing back. One more time. Inhale, exhale. And then make your way back to mountain pose. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then we'll finish with the other side. We'll balance things out. So left shoulder rolling. You can start to grow your circle a little bit. Elbow coming up, fingers spreading out. Wonderful. Finding your way to our half cactus shape with our left side. Here we go with those big circles around the head. We reach the left fingertips out to the side, drawing it back behind you. Good. And then we're going to cross over the front of our body, wrap our hand around our head, reaching back out to the side. Good. Bringing it across the front body, wrapping around the head, extending out to the left side. If you'd like to add a little bit more gaze work, we can watch our hand as it wraps around Extending out to the side, we can watch the hand as it moves. Adds an element of balance and focus and meditative flow. Good. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale to reach. And then bringing the hand across the body, holding on to the opposite knee. Both hands on the right side, pressing into the floor. You can walk the hands up a little higher if you like. Give your head a little twist, a little turn to the right side. And pause here for a few breaths. Feeling in sync with the rhythm of your breath. Noticing how you are feeling today. How are you showing up today? Beautiful. Tiptoeing fingertips back through center. Beautiful. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Moving through this practice by letting go of judgment, letting go of expectations. Good. Can we find a few more shoulder rolls? And then we'll bring both arms into cactus arms. So rolling the arms up and around, elbows coming with us. Good. Find your way to cactus arms. Beautiful. And then we're going to draw the hands back behind us like we're giving a big hug to the person in front of us. Beautiful. Feel the spine arching, pressing the chest forward. And then we'll bring everything together in front of us. Hands and maybe even elbows come to touch as we round through the spine. Beautiful. A couple more just like that. Bigger movement for the spine here to neutralize. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale as we round through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, hands and elbows together. One more time. Inhale, wide. Exhale, everything together at the center. Good. Come on back up. Releasing the arms down to our knees. Shoulder roll to find mountain pose. We'll finish that movement off with a big circle around the hips. Creating a nice finishing move here. Just to get into every last little space in our spine, one direction. And then we'll take it back the opposite way. Beautiful work. Coming back to center, just warming up through the shoulders a little bit more now, and we'll add a little bit of brain yoga. So let's bring both hands out in front of us. Palms are facing up. First, before we do the brain yoga, let's just bring our fingertips to touch our shoulders, bending at the elbows. Beautiful. Extend the arms long. Take a breath as we reach. Exhale as we touch fingertips to shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale to reach long. Exhale, fingertips to shoulders. And then let's inhale to extend arms long and turn one of your palms down. The other one stays up. So one palm is down, one palm is up, and then we'll switch. So now we're getting a little bit into a rotation of the shoulders here, and then switch again. So one palm down, one palm up, and then we switch. Good. You can add that little bounce like I am, or you can just do a little rotation, a little less bounce. Good. Do that like one or two more times, and then we're going to open the arms out wide to the side. Same thing though, one palm down, one palm up. Beautiful. And can we do the same movement with our arms out a little longer? Beautiful. Feel free to keep a bend to the elbow if you need to, if you like. Good. And then let's see if when we're rotating, we can really start to rotate the thumbs a little further. So as far as the thumbs want to go. Beautiful, everyone. Let's do one more time each side. My shoulders are warm, and I'm sure yours are too. Bring hands back to our knees. Big roll of the shoulders here. Wonderful. Interlacing our fingers. Can we turn the fingers toward us? Palms pressing out and away from us. Big stretch for the underside of the arms. We can lift those hands up any amount. They can come all the way or they can just come right in front of us. As we release the hands, we're going to roll the wrists down. I know my hands get a little cut off there, but we're going to roll out those wrists. Beautiful. Bring the hands back together, interlace fingers, pressing the palms away. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to roll the wrists all the way down. Good. Last one. Inhale, pressing palms away from you and lifting. Exhale, rolling wrists all the way out. Beautiful work. Can give our arms a little shake. That feels good. We can shake and add a little twist as well from side to side. Good. Just notice how that feels in the wrists and the fingers. And I've mentioned before, of course, many times that this is a wonderful somatic movement as well, just to brush off a little bit of that extra energy that might be hanging around. Let's do a little brushing action as well. So moving down the shoulder towards the fingertips, we're going to brush all the way down. This is another somatic movement just to kind of dust the energy that we don't need anymore off of us. Let's do the other side. Down the shoulder. Good. Down through the fingertips. Beautiful. And we'll do the same thing on the legs, brushing down from the hips towards the knees. Maybe even a little further down. If we feel ready to lean forward. Good. Coming back up. Now, if you are still sitting back in your chair, you might like to move forward of your chair just a little bit. Beautiful. Finding a little chair pose here. So feet are parallel on the floor. We're bringing shoulders up, back, and around, and then we can bring the arms along with us. So finding a cactus arms, let's tip forward, hinge forward at the hips. Feeling the strength in your back, holding your arms up. Beautiful. One big breath here. And then we exhale. We can drop the hands down if we like. We'll do that again 2 more times. Inhale, arms coming up. We tip forward. Exhaling, lifting back up. Hands drop to knees. Good. One more time. Cactus arms. Inhaling forward. Let's hold for a breath here. We'll exhale in our forward fold. One more big inhale here. Squeezing the back of our body and then exhale up. Hands coming down to our knees. Finding our mountain pose. One nice soft breath here. Beautiful. Fantastic. We're going to move into a little short sun salutation and then we'll get a little bit more into the lower body. So with our feet flat on the floor, we can have our feet parallel, our knees parallel, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to find that hip hinge once again. This time, let's reach forward for our imaginary beach balls. Good. And then lift up over our head. Big breath in here. Exhale, elbows to our sides for cactus arms. Rotating hands and shoulders, pushing down towards the earth. And then reaching the arms forward, hold one wrist. Just a gentle pull forward. Feel the back of your body stretching, opening. Beautiful. Sitting up nice and tall. Give those fingers a nice big wiggle and then let them fall to the knees. Once again, tucking elbows, rolling shoulders back and hinging forward. We're going to push ourselves back up here using the muscles in our arms to do that. Good. 2 more. Shoulders roll back, tip forward, pushing yourself up. Last one. Tipping forward, inhale. Exhale to extend the arms nice and long, and then we'll find a little forward fold. We can just tuck the chin towards the chest if we want to stay upright, or if we want to come forward. Feet are firmly secure on the floor, and we rest on our elbows, holding onto our forearms. Let your head shake gently side to side and forward and back. Nice full breath here. And then a big exhale. Find your way back up to your lap, walking your hands all the way up. Inhaling, we'll circle the arms up overhead this time. Palms come together. Exhaling, hands to our heart. Can we do that again? Inhale, circling the arms up. Palms float down to our hearts. One more time. Big circle of the arms up. Exhaling, floating down to our hearts. Beautiful. Releasing hands to our right knee. Let's bring both to the right knee, and we'll find that big squeeze of the right knee coming up towards the chest. So that movement can be big or small. We might just lift the heel off the floor and the toes off slightly, or we might find we have space for a bigger squeeze. So you find what feels best as you lift and squeeze behind the right knee. Good. We'll do that one more time, this time holding our knee up in the air, and give your ankle a little roll one way and then the opposite way. Beautiful. We can let the knee, the foot hang, heavily away from us. So we're holding on behind the knee, feeling the arms stretch heavily while the weight of our leg draws the arms forward. The harder we hold on, the tighter we hold on, we can feel that stretch through the backs of the shoulders, the upper back. Good. One big breath here. Good. And then exhale, let that foot come down to the floor and slide out in front of us. So point and flex with the toes, feeling a stretch through the front and backs of our legs. Beautiful. And then we can just rest our foot in a neutral position with our heel on the ground and our toes lifted slightly. Soft bend to the right knee. Sit up nice and tall, and we'll find a little forward fold here. So finding a half leg forward fold. We start to inch forward. We can rest on our elbows if it feels good. Give your head a little gentle shake, sway side to side. We're looking for a hamstring stretch. So in the back of the thigh, we might feel that a lot, or we might only feel that a little. However deeply we feel that, can we find a connection to the breath? And just let ourselves be at peace and at ease with whatever is happening in the body right now. And do one more breath here. And then as we exhale, walking ourselves carefully back upright. Beautiful. Finding your way back behind that right knee, we'll slide it back in and lift as we do so. Let's do that again. Reaching the heel out in front of us, scooping back towards the body and lifting. So a little bit of a circular motion now. Extending the leg out, scooping back towards the body. And last time, extending the leg out, scooping back towards the body and lifting. From here, we'll take the right ankle. We'll either cross it over the left ankle, Or if it's accessible, if it feels good, we can rest it on top of the left knee. We can hold onto that ankle with the other hand. So we're finding a little pigeon pose. I'll show you the two options one more time. We can rest the right knee ankle over the left knee, or we can rest our ankles on top of each other. We just want to think about letting that right knee open to the side in either of those positions. I'm going to find my way up to my knee. Feels a little bit more comfortable for in my hip. And then pausing here in whatever position or whatever form of pigeon pose you have found for yourself. We'll sit up nice and tall with a big breath in. And then we might start to hinge forward, getting a little deeper into the right hip joint. So holding for a few breaths. Nice big full breath in. And then as you exhale, bring yourself back upright. And we'll let that right foot slide all the way down to the floor, swaying the knees side to side. Wonderful. And just notice how you feel for a moment before we move on. Noticing how the two sides of the body feel. We've stretched out the hamstring and the hip on the right side. Might feel a little warmer than the other. Beautiful. And then we'll find a wide leg position before we balance things out on the left side. So if you tick-tock the feet, we can heel toe them just into a bit of a wide leg stance, toes and knees pointing out to the corners. Sit up a little taller. And then from here, we'll find that little flowing dip of our shoulders towards the center. So we bring the right shoulder in first. So it's a little bit of a twist for the spine, a little bit of a stretch for the inner thighs here too. And come on back up. We'll take the left shoulder and dip it into the center. And then bring it back out. A couple more times. Dipping in. Inhale. Exhale up. Inhale with the left shoulder in. Exhaling all the way up. One more time each side. If you want to add the breath, we inhale, dipping the right shoulder. Exhale up and out. Last one. Inhale, left shoulder. Exhaling up and out. Beautiful. While we are in our wide leg stance and before we move to the left side of the body, can we bring our arms into that T shape once again? If we've got the space, we can always keep a bend to the elbows if we want. And we'll turn our head to the left. So we're finding our warrior two on the left side. Strong through the back. Little hug of the spine with our shoulders behind us. Gazing out over the left middle finger. We'll take one big breath here. As we exhale, let the right hand drop to the right knee and flip the left palm up. Beautiful. And then from here, we'll reach that left palm up towards the sky. I'm just going to change my angle a little. Good, up towards the sky. And then we might find a little bit of a back bend. So we might reach the fingertips just slightly behind us. Finding our peaceful warrior pose. One more big breath here. Good. On your next exhalation, finding your way back to warrior two arms. Releasing the arms back to your knees, turning forward, and we'll bring those feet back into center. Good. Readjust in your chair as you need to. And then bringing hands to the left knee. So we'll balance things out now on the left side. Big lift of the left knee and lowering down. Good, lifting and lowering. And just finding once again the height that feels good for you to start this movement off. One more big lift and lower, and then find your way up to a knee lift, as high as feels good, as I mentioned. And then we'll roll the ankle out on the left side. One way and then the other. And we can let that leg fall a little heavier. So we can just let it sort of hang away from the body while we hold on, feeling that natural stretch in the backs of the shoulders and the upper back. Good, big breath in. Exhale, lowering the foot down to the floor and sliding the heel out in front of you. On the left heel, toes are slightly lifted, but we can have a bit of a neutral foot here and soft bend on the left knee. Good, finding a point and a flex with the left toes now. Point and flex the toes up and down. Beautiful. And then bringing the toes back to that neutral position, tall through the spine. We might even bring our hands to our hips just to feel and connect to that hinging sensation. We start to tip forward. Good. Now we can bring our hands back to our knees, starting to lean forward. Once again, looking for that stretch in the hamstring behind the thigh. If you're noticing the stretch down into the calf, just let the toes drop a little further towards the floor. Let your breath soften you. Let your breath be your anchor for all of the external noise in the form of your thoughts and your responsibilities. Just let them float into the background, becoming in tune with your breath, with your higher self. We'll take one more breath in as we lift ourselves back up. This time we're sliding our foot back towards our body, holding on again under the left knee. We'll lift the knee up, reaching the leg out and away from us, scooping back towards the body. So it's a bit of a circular movement now as we reach the foot away from us and scoop it back, reaching out and away. Good. One more time. Out and away. And then we'll find pigeon pose again on the left side. So reminding you that we lift the left knee. We can cross the ankle over the right ankle, the left ankle over the right. Let the knee drop open to the side, or we can find our way all the way up to the knee. Some of us love this and some of us do not love this so much. So we have two options to play around with. So wherever you have found your resting position to be, allow the breath to take you to that space of quiet ease. You might even check in with yourself that in these more particularly tenser poses, how does that show up in the rest of your body? So perhaps you might notice the brow furrowing. You can remind yourself to relax through the eyebrows. Perhaps the jaw clenches. So reminding yourself to relax through the jaw, relax through the shoulders. And when you're ready, we'll find a nice tall spine, and maybe we start to hinge forward slightly. Just changing the sensation. And take one more full breath here. And then on your next inhale, roll back up. Slide that leg down back to the earth. Pause for a moment, noticing how the legs feel and how the hips feel. And then we'll find the wide leg position once again. With the feet, we can tick-tock the feet out to the sides. Readjust in your chair. Toes and knees tracking the corners. Can we first start with a little dip? We'll start with the left shoulder this time. So left shoulder dipping into center and rolling back out, followed by the right shoulder dipping into center, rolling back out. Left shoulder in, and then the right shoulder. One more time each side, just making it a little flow. So just moving in a circular pattern. Beautiful. Coming back up, we'll find that T shape with the arms, reaching out to either side. If you need to bend the elbows, you can go ahead. We'll turn our head to look over the right fingertips this time. Finding our warrior two on the right side of the body. And let your next inhale, flip the right palm up. And then the exhale, let the left hand drop down to the left knee. We'll reach our right fingertips up above us and slightly over our head. Little back bend. Feeling the opening in the side of the ribs, the side of the body. One big breath here. Exhale, releasing the arms back out to our warrior two arms. And then let them float down to our knees, turning our head back to center. We're going to float the arms up just a few times with our legs in wide leg position. So inhale, floating the arms up. Exhale, just let the palms turn out and float hands down the front of the body. Do that 2 more times with the breath. Inhale, floating the arms up. Exhaling, bringing them down the front of the body. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Bringing our hands to rest on our knees. Bring the feet back to center. And we'll find our way into our final relaxation, a short meditation to end our practice. So finding your way all the way back in your chair. Your legs can rest in any shape that feels most comfortable for you. Your hands can rest heavily on your lap. Your eyes can close. Your breath can now become deep and natural. As you begin to let the practice go, hanging on to only the benefits. Creating this beautiful, sacred moment for yourself. Setting this time apart as being holy or deeply worthy of your time and your respect. We can use these moments of our practice as a way to treat ourselves, our bodies, and our minds with care and devotion. Feeling that connection to something greater than ourselves. Something that calls you home. Beginning to let your awareness return back to the body. Noticing sounds around you once again. Noticing the scents and aromas around you. Noticing the sensation of touch, of fabric beneath fingertips. Letting the breath become fuller and deeper now. We'll start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And finally, we'll close our practice just with a short moment of gratitude, bringing our hands together at our heart. Rubbing our palms, finding that warmth and energy, and placing our palms over our eyes. We pause to say thank you to our earth, our mother who always nurtures and supports us. Thank you to our community of friends and family, and also of our ancestors and teachers who came before us. And thank you to ourselves for honoring our needs today and creating this sacred space for ourselves. Finally, bringing hands together at our hearts, pressing gently one into the other. I bow to each of you in gratitude. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this beautiful practice with you. And thank you so much, as always, for sharing with me your time, your energy, and your breath. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day. Sat Nam, Namaste, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.